Hello everyone, my name is Roy Jafari and I would like to welcome you to another video. This is going to be a very short video, and in this video we're going to talk about a very fundamental concept. We're going to talk about data. What is data? This is a question we're going to answer. So let's get started. So before continuing on, try to come up with your own answer about what is data. What would you have answered to this question? And then continue on. This is actually a question that every time I have a class and I have a live audience in front of me, I challenge the audience with this question. And there are a lot of different answers that are given to this question. And the variety of these answers it's a lot. And at the same time, there are some shared parts among these answers. So I encourage you to read these answers that I have, laid out in this slide. At the same time, sort of like bring your own answer and sort of like see the difference and similarity between them. However, another thought practice that this question brings for us is the fact that we become aware that there is a lack of common definition around data. And in this video, I'm going to try and solve that for you. So the technical definition of data that we cover is basically, consists of these two parts. It's sign and symbol, representing a measurement or model of reality, right? So it's basically, it's created from sign and symbols, those numbers, those letters we see, and it tries to represent a model or signal of the reality, right? So that's what it is. But it has a second part. The second part of the technical definition of data is that these signs and symbols, if they are left alone by themselves, they're meaningless. They start having meaning when they come in conjunction with a higher level understanding and conventions, right? I call higher level conventions and understanding as HLCU. And what that is, what this HLCU is, it can be, for the most part, in data science machine learning, it can be either human language or human comprehension and perception or computers, right? So this is very important for us to have this comprehensive understanding and definition of data. So let me bring your attention to the two most important parts in this definition. The first part is that this definition is all about, the data is sign and symbols, right? And these sign and symbols are in themselves not useful or understandable or meaningful unless they come in regard to a higher level conventional understanding. That could be human language and perception or computers, right? So next I want to answer this question. Why do I have such an emphasis on this weird thing, higher level conventions and understanding? And there's a good reason for it. And in the next few slides, I'm going to build up some concept and some understanding that I will get to and will be getting to answering this question, right? So stay with me about this question, right? So in any reference that they try to answer this question, what is data? Normally they start with this DIKW pyramid. And it's basically the way us human digest data, right? So we get the data and we move from data by processing the data in our mind, in our brain to get information. And by the process of cognition, we change this information to knowledge. And then by adding judgment on top of it, it becomes a wisdom, right? So this is kind of like true. Data can be seen in this progress, but this is a very outdated pyramid for data analytics that computers are part of it, and also machine learning. Of course, the only thing that is involved with them is computers, right? So we have to update this pyramid, and I have done that, right? So the DIKW update for machine learning is DDPA, which is data set patterns and action, right? So it starts from data. We pre-process or process the data to get to a data set that we can get answers from. And then we find patterns using algorithms. We mine, data mining. And then we use those patterns to lead us to an action using some risk analysis, right? So that's machine learning. And throughout this process, right, pay attention here. Throughout this process, every part of this process, the data, is always digested only by computers, right? So the HLCU, the definition of the data, those signs and symbols are only needed to be understood by the computers, because we use from the data, we get to an automated decision. However, when we talk about data analytics, it's kind of trickier actually, right? So we start with data, and these days we have to, because the size of our data are larger, we have to process them using computers. But once they're processed, right, so we go from data to data set, then we go to visualization. And then from data set to visualization, we have to switch from the HLCU of computers, right, to human, right? Being it, presenting them tables or visualization, we have to consider that this data needs to be understood by human, right? So that is why, because of the fact that in all of our adventures with data, we have to switch between these two HLCUs. It is important when we define our definition of data, it is very important for us to have a concrete understanding that those needs to also be a part of the definition, right? So, like I said, it's a quick video. Let's quickly go over the summary, and the summary is basically the definition of the data. And it is that data is sign and symbol of something, the reality or the model of reality that they're trying to represent. But these sign and symbols would have been meaningless if they're not sort of used in the higher level understanding and convention that could be computers or human perception and understanding. This video was sort of like a summary of one of the chapters in my recent book, Data Preprocessing in Python. It's from part 2 of this book and the chapter 3. Data, what is it really, right? So that's part of the book. If you're interested in checking out the book, I will put the link to checking out the book in the description of this video. But other than that, I will see you in the next video.